John Grant here in Los Angeles. It's Saturday morning, and we are live on the 405. And joining us is Bailey Connell, who represents the Resistance44.com website. Just launched, in the last week here?
Yep, we just launched on Memorial Day.
Okay.
Last Monday.
And you started out as a humble little hashtag, I think, Resistance44, right? Is that how it all got going? And the rest is history. So give us a little background on, who the principals are, why they got together, what you guys are all about, and we'll just kind of see where it goes from there.
Sure. Okay, so basically, Resistance 44 is a group of young people who are pretty much just sick and tired of the liberal progressive narrative that's been pushed not only in legislation that's passed, but also it's kind of taken control of pop culture. It's had control of pop culture since as long as I can remember. I've personally noticed a trend in my generation that really irks me. You either have young conservatives who are afraid to speak their mind. I know I was when I was going to my university. You have a huge chunk of people who are not only, they're immersed in themselves or, what the Kardashians are doing, and they could really just care less about politics or current events. And then you have the liberal youth, who, quite honestly, they don't have their views challenged because they're completely coddled by the mainstream media. And what Resist 44 aims to do is they want to really challenge this trend. We want to create the largest group of young conservative voters who are not only informed on the issues and the political players, but they're excited to make a change in their communities and in a national level.
Okay. And let's see, the site is is it Resist44 or Resistance44.com?
It's Resist44.
Okay, great. I had I just brought it up on my browser here, and I had a problem finding it. So, you mentioned you were all young. I'm not young. Is there a cutoff for getting involved in your organization? Do you have voter ID or something, or does somebody get shoved out of the igloo when they can no longer contribute, or?
Technically, our age group focus is like 18 to 40, but I think anybody who really wants to help out is completely welcome to. And
okay.
We're not going to say if a 17-year-old is like, "Oh, I'm really interested in your organization," we're not going to tell them to go away or anything like that.
Okay. So. I've got the team up here, and we'll just kind of give a who's who, and we'll go down the list of the first few people here up to you, I guess. I guess Justin Charters, who I've had some contact with over the last several days, he appears to be in charge of things there. Where does he come from? What does he do? And what is his interest in this?
Justin, from what I have talked to him about, he didn't really used to be into the whole political scene. He kind of seemed to buy into the whole, Obama's a great, the left really did push the whole pop culture thing, so it was really easy to buy into that. And then I think around the time when the healthcare reform was a big issue, he started to think, well, this is kind of weird, and this doesn't make sense to me, and he basically found a lot of time on his hands, and he did a lot of reading, and basically found himself kind of angry about what's going on and wanted to make some changes. Okay,
let's talk about Erin. Is it Houst? She seems to have some media credentials here, and I don't know, maybe sort of brings in the street smarts and the how-to. Is that a fair description of Erin?
Yeah, I'd say that's a very fair description of Erin. She's a very, very smart girl, and she is a really good writer, really good editor, and she's very helpful that way.
Okay. Yep. Gabby Hoffman, who tweets a lot. I read a lot of her stuff. I think, for the time being, she's a student in Southern California and involved in, talk radio out here. What's her background, and what does she do for you folks?
Gabby Hoffman is another girl, I know she's very involved in several groups. I couldn't name all of them for you, but I just know she's very, very involved, and she's very well informed on the issues.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yep.
Scott Baird. I have not followed him on Twitter, I confess, but what's his role in your organization? Again, it looks like he's kind of a business guy type person.
Yes, he's very good with that kind of stuff. He is very organized, and he is very helpful with planning and knowing just having kind of a business sense about things, and helps us stay on track that way.
Okay. Tell me about your first 100 days or your first, 3 months, 6 months. What do you hope to accomplish out of the box here? Are you looking for a lot of, street activism, or a lot of writing, or media contact, or, in the next 90 days to 6 months, what do you hope to be, and what milestone do you hope to hit?
Well, I think for the first few months, I think we have already accomplished quite a bit as to making contacts and getting our name out there.
I agree.
I think we hope to continue doing that, which I think, as far as we've come, I think we still have quite a ways to go. And yeah, we're going to start putting out content as far as creating street activism and getting people involved. That's going to come hopefully sooner rather than later. I think in the early days of it, it's really going to be putting out content. We're going to be making videos. We're going to be writing articles. We're going to be, driving traffic to our website so people can see this and enjoy it and kind of get informed.
I want to ask you about the grassroots nature of this. One of the things we kind of bounce back and forth in email is it looks like, right away you're under attack as being some sort of a sock puppet for the Koch brothers. Is there anybody in particular that's kind of coming after you with that? Are you drawing the attention of the Media Matters type organizations right now, or who's trying to hit you between the eyes with that one?
We haven't. I'm not sure if we've had any really big names having issues like that with us, but we have definitely seen a few people like on Twitter and making comments on YouTube who think that we're funded by the Koch brothers or other establishment Republicans, which I think is just hilarious because we're completely grassroots. We have over 1,000 people who have liked us on Facebook, and a huge number of people who have just offered their help to our organization on a pure volunteer basis. And I think that's great because we've accrued such an amazing number of talented investigative writers and researchers, artists, musicians, who really, plain and simple, they just want to help facilitate change.
Okay,
I think it's funny. Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. It's 2012, obviously. The big prize is the elections in November. Are you getting involved with candidates, or are you getting involved with political action committees? Do you have any personal involvement with them now? What do you hope to do, and what sort of a mark do you hope to make between now and November?
We are trying to be purely a issues-based organization. We're not trying to, really attack any particular candidate or organization. We mainly want to get to vocalize the issues, get people informed on things, and challenge ideals.
Okay. Want to ask you about the various strains of conservatism, social conservatism versus fiscal conservatism. Are you trying to stay on one path or the other, or I'm just kind of looking at your who's who of people here? It's a pretty broad spectrum of people. Are you focusing on fiscal conservative issues, or are you big tenting this, or what would you say is going to be the goal there?
Well, obviously, I think the economy is going to be our biggest issue. I think we've had a number of problems there that really can't be ignored. When it comes to social stuff, I think we have a pretty broad spectrum of people who are involved with us who have different opinions on that kind of thing, which is great. And we do bounce around ideas on social issues pretty often, too. We don't have a set path in that direction, though.
Okay. We're talking with Bailey from resist44.com. Brand new launch this week of young conservative writers, thinkers, and activists, and we appreciate her coming on the show today. So what are your plans personally, I guess, in the next several months? Are you finished with school? Are you going to go out in the working world and sort of test the waters as far as a political type job, or what are you going to do in the next several months here personally?
Sure. Well, I am actually a nursing student.
Okay.
So I've got one more year left. I am taking a summer class, but this summer I'm going to be very involved with Resist 44. I am working on videos and music and that kind of thing for our organization, and hope to put out a lot of content in that sense. As for working, I'm looking for a CNA job right now, so
yeah.
Nothing particular in politics yet, but we'll see.
Are a lot of the team still students at this point, or most of them sort of out in the working world, or what's the mix of where they come from?
I think they're all over the place. I think we do have a lot of students. We've got a lot of people who have just graduated and are looking for jobs, and I think there's just a lot of people who are involved in a number of other things in our community that really just want to help out.
Okay. Bailey Connell, thanks for joining us here. We appreciate your spending the time. The website is resist44.com. And your Twitter handle is what?
At Veil of Rights.
Oh, okay. At Veil of Rights. Okay, great.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. And, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And resist at resist44 at resist.
Oh, okay.
44.
Okay, great. So that's how people can get in touch with you there. So, all right. Great. Thanks for joining us. This is John Grant
Thank you.
on the 405 Live, and we will be right